So this past week in class, we began working on our group maker project. And so me and one other girl named Allie are working together to create something that will eventually benefit us when we are future special educators. So when we began working for this, our first task was to kind of brainstorm different problems or difficulties that you experience when working with students with special needs in a school. And so we came up with a list of things, dealing with multiple disabilities, trying to create an inclusive classroom, difficulty to discipline, bilingual students or families, uninvolved or uninterested parents, high chance of teacher burnout, the need for individualization and one-on-one focus, and transitions. And of all of these are problems that are going to, occur no matter how much we may try and fix them. It's just kind of gonna happen. But the one that we wanted to focus on the most initially was the transitions, because that's something that we can, kind of help out with. We can't really change if a parent wants to be uninvolved. That's only so much within our control, but helping out with the transitions from, say, like middle school to high school, that's something that we can try and ease the difficulty with. So, we thought of creating an app that worked with virtual reality that would give students an idea of what the school and what the new classrooms and new schedules would be like during the summer, so that once they come to school, they are prepared and they aren't overwhelmed by this new environment, new schedule, new bell sounds, all of that. So we wanted to create an app that they, implemented starting like midsummer, and an alarm would go off like when a class was starting. And when that alarm went off, the student would need to go into virtual reality, and then they would be walked through like their new classroom. They'd be shown the bell sound, and they would be introduced to their teacher, shown where they may sit, shown what different things are around the classroom to give them the idea. And this would follow on like the daily schedule. So that would be like one class period, and then once they got a feel for that classroom, they can take it off, and then when the next alarm goes off and it's time for second period, it's going to be the same thing, where it's gonna they get a new alert, go in, new classroom, new teacher, new seat, new environment, all of that, and it can be walked through them. And then we even talked about including like a lunchtime where they can go and stand in line, meet the lunch lady. That way, when this stuff happens, it's not so difficult and so overwhelming to these students. And however, even though this is a really great idea, we do want to try and focus on something that's also going to help us become better teachers. And implementing that is going to help the students out tremendously, and it's going to help out the classroom environment as a whole. However, I don't know how much that's really impacting our ability or lack thereof to be an adequate teacher. So since that class, we have me and Allie have gotten back together and have kind of just been brainstorming some other ideas of what we can do, what's going to help us. And so we decided that we want to focus on something that is maybe made for teachers and parents, because that can solely help us completely. And so the idea that we kind of are thinking about and like brainstorming more on it to elaborate with right now is creating an app that kind of acts as like an Excel sheet, but with different like files for students' IEPs, for their attendance, behavior reports, all that kind of stuff, and have that teachers can have it for all of the students, and then it's shared with the parents, so the parents also have this app and have access to their own students' reports and IEPs and daily lesson plans and all that kind of stuff. That way the parent knows as much as the teacher does. And then this is my own brainstorming that me and Allie haven't talked about yet, but I'm going to bring it up to her tomorrow. Maybe even incorporating, like, if a child has a bad day and so their behavior was off, we can, put something in that so the parents can see, and then maybe even, like, link an article or link a game or something interactive that the parents can try at home, and then we can follow up on the following school day to help with whatever behavior had happened. I don't know. I don't have all of that figured out yet, but that's kind of what we're working with and thinking about right now, just so that it can benefit teachers and benefit us while also benefiting the class by having it organized, having the parents know everything, and all of that. So I really am excited to meet with Allie again tomorrow and think about this more, because I see a lot of possibilities with our various ideas, and it really excites me.